Hey everyone, it's Crystal here. Do new experiences make you feel anxious? Even to the point where you have anxiety panic attacks? And anxiety has plagued our society for a really long time, but has gotten extremely worse with time. And now it's at like a heightened level where everybody is anxious all the time, and it's causing some serious health issues throughout. And really identifying stresses and anxiety as a serious problem, a serious health problem, a serious mental issue is something that we should all be aware of and really bring some more forethought and effort towards healing and coming away from it. And anxiety gives you these nervous feelings, you have these worrisome thoughts, and you're fearful. And of course, when starting something new, there's always the unknown. There's always things that we're not aware of. And when we're starting something new, maybe there's some new personalities we have to meet and deal with some new people, or we're dealing with some new tasks that we're not familiar with, or we're completely out of our comfort zone because the environment is so new and it just feels a little daunting at first. And you know what that feeling is like. Anytime you've ever started something new, you're kind of out of your element. Everything's really strange and not familiar. But the more you do it, then the more familiar they are. But on the onset, if you're already having these anxiety attacks or anxious feelings, then it's going to be really hard to embrace something new and enjoy what you're doing and do it well. So what can you do? Anxiety does take a lot of recognition on your part, and recognition from what stems the triggers of your anxiety. And it could be multiple things that make you anxious. And these are all because of past experiences that you've witnessed or had in your life that now are embedded in your subconscious mind. And when something similar or you get that same feeling or something just happens that triggers that anxiety thought, then that sends that anxiety feeling through your body, and you know exactly what that feels like if you've been anxious before. And so it really takes some serious work to identify what triggers you to feel anxious and write it down. Make a list. Note everything that you're feeling that makes you anxious, what causes it, and what happens to you when you feel anxious. And this can be your starting point at working at getting past anxiety. And then working at finding some coping strategies, some solutions to working with anxiety. And anxiety doesn't go away overnight. It is something that is always a work in progress and can always be done better and more every time you feel anxious. And it's about making it familiar now as the new way of being versus the old anxious way of being. Making these habits, these thoughts, these behaviors more familiar now and replacing the old thoughts and behaviors. So really identifying what coping strategies you need during this time. When you're feeling anxious, maybe it's taking a time out and getting a breather and resetting your mind and your thoughts. Maybe it's distracting yourself for a moment and going to do something that you really need to do, like get a cup of tea or have a drink of water and really reflect on why you're feeling anxious. And also, when you're in this anxious mode, it's really ideal to have a whole balanced system outside of your emotions. That means having some nutritional eating habits where you're eating some balanced meals, some good food to nourish your mind and your body, and also exercise and movement. Constantly just going maybe for a mild walk, or maybe you enjoy doing yoga or going to the gym. Whatever that may be can help you alleviate some of the anxious feelings. So really it's about getting some balance in other aspects of your life, as well as having some really good sleep patterns and quality of sleep, and also just some self-care rituals. So these are all really important to help you move through anxiety. And the more you make this a part of your life and a part of your routine, then anxiety will eventually subside. And then after you've started to get into some sort of rhythm, it's really ideal to look for somebody that can help you break the loop in your mind, the thoughts that you have that trigger the anxiety and give you that anxious feeling. And really, it's because there was a past time or something that's happened to you or multiple occasions where you felt the same thing over and over and over again. And that's why this is coming up for you again and again and again. And there's so many different types of anxiety out there. And perhaps you have more than just one. Right now, actually, social anxiety is at its peak. It's one of the biggest epidemics in our kind right now, where there are people dealing with lots of social anxiety because they don't know how to interact with each other anymore. And they start not being able to make eye contact, and they may sweat on the onset of needing to meet somebody, or perhaps their words don't come out of their mouth properly or the way they wanted it to, or maybe they're really intimidated by people altogether. And so social anxiety has really taken over, and we are social creatures. Humans depend on humans to interact and communicate and survive. This is how we were developed and designed to be. So when this is a huge issue and this is a anxious moment that you have, then it's really important to work at getting past it so you can enjoy having social interactions again. But it really does require some patient work with your own self, finding somebody that can help you break through your thoughts and what you're thinking, and reestablish and redetermine the thoughts that you need to have in order to not have these anxious feelings. So it does take some work on your part. It does take some analyzing and evaluations on your anxiety levels, what happens when you're anxious, what you're thinking, and your overall mind and body effect, and really determine what's going on with the issues that you're experiencing anxiety towards. And then develop some coping strategies that will help you break free and really get someone to keep you accountable, get help, and make reasonable, resourceful decisions on your solutions. And it really will help break free of anxiety, and you can regain your life again and just live absolutely free. So I hope you're able to get some value out of that today. I'll see you soon.